So welcome everyone to our Good of the Whole Public Mentoring Stewards community call. And we love this call because it gives us an opportunity to meet new people and for all of us to come deeper into the space where we together embrace this whole emerging worldview. And what we love here is that we are essentially attuning to the field itself. So we are being informed by the field and creating new ways of building coherence and living for the good of the whole. And this is a space where we can share what is really inspiring us and focus on building a greater understanding of this culture sourced in wholeness. So it's a really fun call, and we invite you into the space, and Henry's going to open. We always open with an attunement, a resonance attunement. And on this call, it's a little bit more concise so that we have an opportunity to hear from you as well. So once Henry opens, I'll come back on and we'll continue. So welcome. Welcome, Henry, and everyone who's just getting on.
Hi. Good morning, everyone. Welcome. This first part is inspired by Shelley's colors this morning. So let us open to the colors of life, the colors of light that each one of us brings to the circle, the radiance, the inspiration, the calling within us. What moves us deeply and what brings us to this circle this morning, and opening to what wants to emerge at this time within us, within our world, within good of the whole. And just taking a few breaths, breathing in all of that, as we come into a greater coherence and harmony with all of those gathered here and the presence of all of those connected with us in this circle and in other circles that we are part of. Giving gratitude for this moment. Returning back. Taking one last breath, returning back to our circle.
Thank you, Henry. Welcome, Kate, with everyone. So that's so beautiful, that radiant diversity, coming together. And there's a beautiful quote that Marianne Head, who has been on our advisory council, brought to us. And as we're feeling into this call, it's really the sense of, feeling that we're on this earth at this time to serve the good of the whole, and that we're coming together and we're finding each other and connecting in the most deep and high ways to do this work and supporting one another in what we each are called to here to do for the good of the whole. So on this public call, it opens the way for us to share our inspired ideas and feel that, as Barbara Marx Hubbard mentioned, feel that vocational arousal. And then if you're inspired to join us on our each Wednesday, we meet every week, where we are actually not only amplifying what your voice is, but we as a collective are coming together to bring forth, give visibility to our mentoring stewards and build this relationship with Good of the Whole as a nonprofit organization that is here to really give you visibility and then offer, as we move into 2020, we're all kind of feeling that energy, that movement towards a solstice, towards, this arising of our voice and collective living for good of the whole. And later on in this call, share a little bit about this new template that we're bringing forth for the Mentoring Stewards and building a co-creative relationship with Good of the Whole. But for now, I'm just going to share an idea, an inspiration that just happened this morning. And then I'm going to invite Julie, who is co-founder of Good of the Whole, and with me, and how we come together with the Mentoring Stewards. But I just wanted to share an inspiration. So this call is about what's moving in you and giving you an opportunity. And I thought this was really great. So my daughter called this morning, and this is how it works. And this is how we build this relationship with Good of the Whole. She called and she said, "Mom, I have this incredible idea. I really want to do it." And she said it was hammocks for the homeless. So we live in Sarasota. She's here in Sarasota, and she's been seeing all these homeless people out on the streets, sleeping on benches and parks. And she discovered this. What started to move for her was this joy of, she had bought these hammocks, and her and my grandsons have been hanging them up, and to offer that, to create a funding for these homeless people and give them these hammocks to be able to sleep comfortably during the day. And all they need is these two trees. And I'm going to just share these two pictures. And you can see her, you probably can see a lot of other things. Hold on one second. So you can see her hanging up these hammocks. They cost $27, and now they're 2 for $1. And as you can see, there's it doesn't hurt the trees, and they're very comfortable. And I'm going to stop the share and show you one more. And here's the second picture, where you can see my grandson is just really comfortable, enjoying, this experience. And so she came up with this idea of these hammocks. And so I said to her, and she said, "Well, I want to do it for the holidays, and I want to do a fundraiser, and I want to get people involved." And I said, "Well, that's great, and do it locally. And this is something that, let's talk to Good of the Whole. Let's bring this forward as an idea." I told her I was going to bring it forward today, just as an idea that, imagine partnering with Good of the Whole, and Good of the Whole as a nonprofit, giving that idea credibility and lifting it up so that it's something not just locally, possibly in Sarasota, but people could do it in other areas, in other regions. And so I thought it was a perfect example of, when you're thinking about your own ideas, or you're feeling yourself wanting to be in this co-mentoring experience with Good of the Whole, that this is a perfect example of how those ideas can be uplifted. And the Wednesday call here ongoing is about communicating with each other, co-mentoring with each other, and listening for how Good of the Whole. And towards the end, we'll be talking about just what those opportunities are in terms of bringing your idea forward. And now we have this sort of new 2020 template, which is actually funny that there's a 2020, of giving you an opportunity to bring your idea forward. So these are some of the things, and I'm going to just pass it over to Julie to give you a little bit more of Good of the Whole. And then let's just open it up to meet each other, and what has inspired you to be on this call, and how you feel the experience of really living for the good of the whole, in terms of whole systems health, and what we're co-creating as a culture here. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to Julie and let her inspire and infuse this experience, and then we'll open it up to each one of you.
Thank you, Shelley. I'm looking at this beautiful screen, and so many of us do know each other. And Ricardo, it's nice to meet you, and I look forward to hearing your voice here as well. I just want to say, every time an idea comes forward like that, my mind goes like literally. I'm seeing all kinds of ways of distribution, of ways of partnering with manufacturers, of ways of getting the logo on, with other directories of different resources for the, like all these things happening. And I love that about this group. Number one is that we truly are living for the good of the whole. It's like we become this demonstration of how to live for the good of the whole, even in times where perhaps we're not. I think of, I shared on a call, Kate doesn't know this, but I shared on another call of how much Kate has inspired me from 3 years ago at an event, and I'm going to tell her about that. But being in the presence, being in this field together, not only inspires these initiatives and programs and ways to live for the good of the whole, but the field moves, I think, to elevate all of us. It's like we elevate, we amplify the goodness, and there's something about the field that gives us the leg up, as well as giving each other a leg up. So I just want to share one more story from last week. So last week we had a Mentoring Stewards call, and it was right before the holiday, and I was sharing some resources on the Good of the Whole site, and everyone that showed up didn't know those resources were there on the site. So I'm just going to say, go to the website and look around. It's really amazing what's on goodofthewhole.com or goodofthewhole.org. But during that call, I don't remember what, I'd have to listen to it, but this vision popped for me, which was this narrative about the consciousness of separation and coming into unity and our true essence of who we are. And so that popped so clearly, and I shared it with the group, and Karen said, I know a cartoonist. I'm like, I have to capture this in a cartoon. Well, I want to let you know, for those who were on that call last time, and I'll share it with you, but that image, that story, that narrative has not gone away all week. And literally it's expanding and creating more meaning, and it's becoming this really beautiful living organism inside of me that's telling a profound story. And it's, to me, I'm just so grateful that we can come together in this field and allow that source consciousness to inform and continue to allow us to co-create in that way. Part of what's come through, I was thinking as I was driving here to the office this morning, was listening to Jude Currivan and Gil Agnew say, what's the new narrative? What's the story? How can we tell the story? How do we do that? And I've been thinking about all the stories of what's coming forward, what's emerging in a lot of different beautiful ways. And that one simple cartoon with humor is so powerful. And I can't wait to tell it again. I've got to find that cartoonist that can bring that to life. So thank you for sharing that story, Shelley. And I think it's a good time to just open up. Perhaps, is there a question that we could put forward to do this brief check-in, Shell, or what do you want to do? I'll turn it back to you.
Yeah, I think there's been enough information coming in, and now we want to hear from you. So I would just say, what's inspiring you in terms of you're living for the good of the whole, and how do you see an experience like this where we can uplift you, that how can it support you? So we're going to invite everyone to just speak 2 to 3 minutes, and then if we have more time at the end, we can open it up more. And this is just really an experience of really an introduction to this, what we're calling good of the whole, really an organism. We've always called it an organism. And at the same time, it is a 501c3, so it's an organization as well. And we're just inviting you to come and be that with us, build that field with us, as Julie's been saying. So that's it. And I'm going to unmute Ricardo. And yeah, so just jump in. Thank you.
Hi, me? Hello, everybody. I'm super excited to be with you. I'm in Mexico. I don't know how I got here, and to the group. I really suddenly saw yesterday an email in my account, and it resonated a lot. I know I've been getting more and more into this frequency, and I'm more excited about just resonating more intensely with more and more people's heart and operating from that place of a whole system thinking, and just as a more as a living organism, and from the desire of giving and sharing and uplifting, and knowing that that's how I feel. The more I give, the more the more it flows. It's more like an expression of the greater whole. So I'm an architect. I'm a city design planner. I design spaces, cities, houses, schools that create a greater coherence for people, and using materials, using the land, using structure, using shape, geometry, everything. So I was also excited. I felt this resonated a lot with the things I'm doing, and just wanted to meet more people that I feel it's in the similar vibration, that we're sharing similar energies, resonances, intentions, and very nice meeting you all. I'm sometimes here, sometimes in Vancouver, sometimes in Jakarta, seeing projects also in London. So, but well, today I had the chance. It was just very synchronistic, and I'm just excited to be part of this and open. Right. Thank you.
So just pop in as you're feeling it. I love that you said feeling the frequency, because that's really what we're about. That what we're calling the home frequency. Yeah.
This is Henry in Colorado. I guess what's up for me is the inquiry of maybe articulating better what is meant by mentoring and co-mentoring. Because I believe we do that a lot, but not necessarily as consciously. I can feel the energy of it, like in this circle. And mentoring is, I believe, a part that's really contained in presence, that we're bringing who we are more fully to wherever we go. But if we become more conscious and are able to articulate that in the group, then that energy will flow, will be transmitted, will radiate. And we realize, it's almost like, I forget what a talk was on another call, but it's almost like we each have a certain darshan, which is the kind of the Hindu concept, which is usually attributed to the great teachers, that just their presence is able to transmit something. But I believe we each have a darshan. And that's part of our presence, and that's part, perhaps, of our mentoring. So for me, the inquiry is to get more clarity on what that means and how we can articulate that and how we can acknowledge that of what we are already doing in our lives through this presence, which is linked to the larger whole, that our unique individual presences are really part or stream from that united, that one presence. So that's what I'd like to share, or what's moving in me right now. Thank you.
Good morning, Nahid from Boulder. I am a little under the weather. You can hear it in my voice. what was shared is the
Nahid, can you speak a little closer to your mic? I think a few people are having a hard time hearing you. Thank you.
okay. Thank you. What was shared is it's the essence, the heart of my heart. And that's why from the beginning I've been deeply desiring to have and be in the physical space together. Truly, when we live in the heart, when we are in that energy, it's totally different experience. I mean, I'm getting that because of this virtual connection. We still are talking about it. And that presence, that being that is emanating in radiance, and no words can describe it. I would say it would embrace all, and it would lift and inspire everything that each one of us are about. It's interesting what you brought up, Andy. When last time in one of our calls, Linda was introducing the project, I was inspired to bring this up. And if I would have the opportunity in one of these 20 minutes, I would love to do that. Maybe something to do with me coming from a different culture from the East and living a different life than most of you. Maybe that would be my gift to the whole. It brings a big smile to my heart to be able to sit together in that energy and hold each other. With no words in the energetic field. Breathing like a liquid. Breathing being the liquid. Breathing one another. I already feel much better than when I came to the call. Thank you. I'm complete.
Thank you, Nahid and Henry. I just want to bring in something just popped for me is for those of us that have been involved with Good of the Whole for a while and have been on the Mentoring Stewards Call, and some of you are even on the advisory council, just to share also when you're coming in, what does it mean for you to be part of Good of the Whole and be on this call and be building the field with us together? So I think that would be really fantastic to bring that in as well. So I'm complete, and I see Grace ready to go.
Yeah, when you said that, Shelley, I just was sitting here just feeling so much gratitude to have this wonderful support and to be in this field with you all, because it not only I feel connected to you all, it helps fuel my mission, which is the Global Heart Team, together with everyone. And so it's win-win. It's like it's a feed forward positive energetic loop when we're in together in this circle, or not loop so much a circle. And so I just feel this immense gratitude for this circle of love, and how it embodies and fuels loving energy for everyone's purpose, everyone's soul purpose. So thank you.
Hello, everyone. This is Cassandra. I'd like to pick up that thread. I've been much more active in the past, and what I'm being called to now is to honor all the things that come to my attention every day. Perhaps I'll contemplate them. It depends on what shows up. So I think this group is really multi-dimensional. Are we mentors to individuals in our lives? I suspect we are, all of us. Do we cultivate a heart field here that emboldens us to go out into the world and to do what's ours to do? I'd say yes, it does. So I'm beginning to understand, and I've only been with you for a few months now, I'm beginning to understand that we are like a deep well, and that each one of us is taking from this well that which is filling us, and we use it during the rest of the week. Where else can we tap into that so easily, so effortlessly? So this mentoring call is mentoring us by allowing us to embrace the fullness of our potential and utilize it wherever possible. Gratitude is much deeper than what I mean, I feel something more than just gratitude. That's what I'm trying to say. It's almost as if my light can't shine as bright without your light being a part of my weekly experience. So I feel I'm complete and whole in this moment. And thank you, Grace, for bringing that thread so that I could pick it up and speak from my heart. Aho.
I'm just going to jump in here 1 minute because I want to just follow that thread, because honestly, that is the truth when we're talking about mentoring. We are, this is what makes the space really unique. And even the Monday call, the Monday resonance call, where we are here to listen to the field, deeply listen to the field itself, and be mentored by that, what we're calling that voice of wholeness. And so I love that. And really that's the co-mentoring as well, where we're all listening and imbibing that expression of wholeness and being, you know, and I don't know, this is what's coming forward. And I don't really ever say it this way, but really being those hands of God, in the sense that we are one with that source consciousness. And we become those influencers. You know, we're sharing that recognition, we're sharing that acknowledgement, and becoming those influencers, or, you know, people have used the words change makers, but it's less about us pushing forward, you know, in the old way, in the old paradigm. It's really about us softening and opening and receiving that information, and then becoming that greater expression as we live for the good of the whole. So thank you for bringing that forward. And continue passing that beautiful talking. Sometimes we have a talking feather, some placing the talking feather in the center. And then I already feel Kate. And I'm complete and whole.
Glenn here, talking to you from Kauai. And I've been working for over a year now on developing an at-cost housing model for conscious community, for good of the whole. And these calls, and even this one today, I received a little bit of language that I have already put into the package and proposal that I'm developing. We're building the story of what this community would be like, and building the vision, and and just putting it together in a way that works for everybody. And so I've got a gratitude for all of you, and I've already reached out to Ricardo to have a little connection with you, Ricardo, about the community we're working on here on Kauai, and just looking at how we build, how we reimagine living with Bucky Fuller's support and guidance and wisdom that he offers all the time. And so just appreciate all of you, and blessings and gratitude.
This is Julie, and I just want to follow that thread. Thank you. Because the energetic of what I experience, I think is really, there's no language, there's no words for this, but I just want to try to put this into words, because what you're speaking to and moving through everyone's words through to Glenn just now is why I want to follow this, is that this is what, here's a good way to say it. This is like networking on steroids, but in a soulful way, at the deep well of what's been talking about. I'm like, Grace saying it fuels everyone's soul purpose, and Cassandra say we're at this well and we all dip into this well. And so like watching Glenn, and I know this about Glenn because I had the joy and honor of working with him for the last several years, is like this, what wants to be born through us, as us, is so cosmically infinite and indescribable, of this birth of what's happening on the planet through consciousness, this evolution of consciousness. And it's beyond what we can literally see, feel, experience, understand as ourselves, as individuals. And we are all called with this deep reverberation of that cosmic heart, of that global heart. And so as it's beating in us, we get to see more of ourselves through each other. So it's so beautiful as everyone starts to just come in and share and presence who you be, we all become more whole. So I'm just going to go back to that network. And, we talk about in the language of networks and the old way of networking. And this is so much more than that. Our co-mentoring, our being together, our presencing these relationships through the field of source, moving through the heart of who we be in that deep, deep well, and bubbling up in so many beautiful ways. It's so much more than synergy, than syntony, than co-creation. It's so much more than all of those things we're trying to bring into form and structure to communicate with the world. So thank you for being a part of this beautiful experiment that we are all in on this planet, and really listening to that deep call that brings us into our wholeness and continually into even a greater wholeness. So I just thank you. And I'm complete and whole, and pass that feather back.
Good morning, everyone. This is Karen in Costa Rica. Wow. Between Grace and Cassandra, I couldn't say it better. Thank you all. And then following with Glenn, yes, I've already reached out to Ricardo too. Some of you know, some of you don't know, but I've also been working on some projects that, you know, I know there's never a coincidence. It's always synchronicity. So welcome, Ricardo. So even though Glenn and I come from a different direction, our projects are more similar than I think realized at the beginning. And if it wasn't for this group, and thank you, Shelley, some time that you took with me, it inspired me to finally really see and understand how to write something, to bring forth what you talked about, the story, Glenn, the imagination, the imagine what it would be like. So my assignment from the universe is to help create a new paradigm of being here. How we're doing this, the ways are many, but one of the ways that I've been guided to do this is building unique community models for where we're moving to in the world, I believe, as groups like this help shift consciousness and move things forward. So it's been an exciting time. I love this call, and the Monday call too. It helps keep me going. This is the closest thing to family I have right now, other than my son. And this is my spiritual family and more. And I'm so grateful for all of you and for the good of the whole, but what you've done with all of this, creating this space, and how we work with the field. So thank you again. And I'm, like Kate says, I'm forever incomplete, but I'm complete for now.
I'm just going to jump in here because I see that Erica has joined us and Dawn. And just right now, the invitation is to take 2 or 3 minutes to just express what's moving for you in relationship to living for the good of the whole. And this call is less about advertising. It's really, as Julie was saying, it's really about reverberating that frequency of love, of intentioning, and where we get to experiencing you as that expression of the field itself. And then as we move into the rest of the month, on our Wednesday calls, it's really, then we're going to take it and look at the meat of what's coming forth. And as everyone has said here, how we can uplift each other, and how Good of the Whole can then also, as an organization, can really give you greater visibility and be really a docking station for your expression, our collective expression. So coming in, being informed by the field, coming in, being mutually nourished, and then going back out again and being informing the field as an individual and as a collective. So thank you. And so that talking feathers is put right back into the middle.
Just going to throw in, Ricardo, better check your chat box.
don't forget to unmute yourself, because if you've come in late, you've come in on default. So just wanted to remind people. And again, we've got 10 more minutes, so just feel free to pop in for those who haven't shared at this point.
Well, it's so nice to see many faces that I've known for such a long time and shared with, and see some new faces as well. It's a sign of growing, and I certainly concur with the things that have been said here. What's new in today's world is technology, where we can communicate together like this. And one of the greatest inventions is the conference that's reasonably priced. It's available to everyone, anywhere, anytime. So it's an opportunity to share our genius. And so my belief is, my passion is that we can use this kind of modality to create 1 million such meetings. I think that's what we need to do to change the world. We have to set up a network of seminars. I'm calling these Genie seminars. I've termed the name Genie seminars. Remember, Barbara Mark Shepard told us we've got to connect our genius, co-create our genius by people meeting together and sharing their genius together. We've had a lot of talking heads that tell us what we should do, but we haven't had much of saying, if we do A, B will happen. So there's a lot of people who tell us the right thing to do, but so what I've been working on with a group of people over a period of a couple of years now, and we've been recording our meetings, is to create a newer way of thinking. My belief is that Einstein told us what we knew to bring about world peace. And the wonderful news, the wonderful new news, is that he told us if we can change the way we think from competing with one another, which is what we're seeing in our political world today, where you have to be an A or a B, you have to be a red or a blue. If he told us that one way we can create universal world peace is if we change the way we think. And there are just some simple words we can use to do that. So what we've been doing in our group is creating a new language. The language we have, and I think Barbara talked to us about evolution, but we never carried evolution far enough. What we've learned, or what we're beginning to wake up to, becoming more conscious, awake to, is that we are all born addicted to a way of thinking that says what's good for me and my family and my tribe for here and now, instead of what's good for my tribe and your tribe for now and the future. So our ancestors for several billion years, and I'm going back to prehistoric times, our ancestors had to be part of a tribe. You could not survive in the primitive world without being a part of a tribe. We know sharks travel with sharks, the eagles travel with eagles, and wolves travel with wolves, and so on. And so he realized that the way we think, our conscious awareness, and animals and prehistoric animals have conscious awareness, was to biologically learn through experience that you have to be part of a tribe. And the other thing you have to do is create more powerful weapons. So our history is a history of when we finally developed language 50,000 years ago, we created new weapons. We started to create, instead of muscles and teeth, we fought with sticks and stones and bows and arrows. Then we went to poisons, gases, and bombs. And now what's different that Einstein told us is now we have weapons where there's no longer a win or lose experience. It's all lose-lose. So the issue is we can create some simple words, and the bottom line is that we've been creating a new language, such as simple words like a word switch. When you change, for example, from I can't to I can, I think I can, that turns on our energy. When we use words like both and instead of either or, that we see how we can work together instead of the either or word. So these 7 simple word changes, and all these words are available. There are a little over 100 words we've created. So that's one thing that we've done. The second thing we've done is we've tried to work out some support from some Zoom. And initially they gave us, we talked to the director of education for Zoom, who gave our group, sponsored us with 50 free links to their pro level. So we're trying to develop these. If they will, we can work this out with them to give away free links to 50 Zoom programs. We think if we can start 50 Zoom programs like this program here, let's face it, we are the low-hanging fruit, the people in this program, and there are a number of people who are that. If we can create 50 programs like this, and those people will then create programs, tell their people about the new way of thinking and bring people together, very rapidly we can reach that million number of links that we have. And the last thing is, I think we have to update our understanding of evolution that tells us that we are human beings, we're human becomings. That's one of the new words. We're not simply human beings, we're humane becomings. We have to teach ourselves a newer way of thinking. That was Einstein's solution. So those are my just thoughts, that I'm working on something new, and I just indicate if anybody's interested in looking at these new word switches, they're on www.peace.academy, P-E-A-C-E, peace.academy. Everything we do is free. It's totally nonprofit, and it is public domain. If anybody wants to use these words for their own programs or any of this program, you don't have to use our name. We're not looking for credit. We're not looking for money. Everything is very free. The idea is, can we contribute our genius in a rapid way so that we can all share them? The idea of increasing, for example.
So Don,
and I'm complete.
Thank you.
I knew Shelley was waiting.
Don and I, so just so everyone knows, Don has been on these calls from the very, very, very beginning. And we always have this thing like, okay, Don. But I'm watching the time and I want to make sure everybody has an opportunity to share. And just to remind you, feel free to put, in the chat your link or whatever. But we would just want to really be sharing the inspiration, and we have to be careful about. This is an exciting space. There's no question about it. But that's why we want you to come on the Mentoring Stewards call. So this is where we go deeper into these different objectives. And so beautiful is, Don has spent so much just giving away so much. And I think that's a beautiful example for us at Good of the Whole, that really living for the good of the whole and creating the space to, a million love creation teachers, whatever it is, that's your thing. So thank you, Don, and love you so much. And
thank you, and love to everybody here as well.
I just had to do that. Okay, much love. Let's put that talking feather, and let's keep it 1 to 2 minutes now so that everyone still has a chance to share, and just keep enjoying this wonderful, beautiful space.
Hi, good morning. Oops, it's Deborah. Oh, Kate, hey, come on, talk to me. Anyway, let's see, here in the frozenness of Colorado, couple of things. I don't come on this call very often. I'm much more often on the Global Heart Resonance call, but I have a feeling that I found that call through this call. So anyway, here I am, and two things. One, I really appreciated the word colors in Henry's attunement. I was actually sitting there coloring when that happened, and I'm finding that I'm having to learn to calm my nervous system, and coloring is really a great way to do that. And as well, I'm now finding myself in this monochromatic environment, and so the vividity of color is just heart-opening. And the second thing I want to say is geese. So geese have been my teacher this week while I have been here. Because of the big storms, all these geese have been coming in. And I almost can't think of a more perfect metaphor than geese for good of the whole, because they move as one, even as they are singular. And that's really all I have to say today. Thank you so much. As always, very happy to be here. Thank you.
Kate just wanted to say hello. I'm up here in South Dakota. I'm absolutely over exuberant, feeling like I'm living the news story with you all. Ricardo, so wonderful to have you join us. When you started speaking, I instantly went, oh, got to get him and Glenn together to know that y'all have linked up, and you know that when Julie talks about her expanding ideas, I felt that instantly there too. So with that, I'm going to return the talking feather because I know it just going to get better.
Morning, everybody. It's Linda in Indiana. I just wanted to connect with you voice to voice. We're already connected heart to heart. And to appreciate, again, the tapestry that keeps growing as we make these calls, and more, at least on the first Wednesday, and hopefully more Wednesdays as we co-mentor together, and help Good of the Whole keep blossoming and growing. And I think a place where our diversity is so exciting, and we have a place where we can all be our unique selves, and that's encouraged to keep being ourselves in the world. So there are many projects. I want to keep this short because I want to hear from everyone here too. But I'm going to say Pachamama Pajamas has been birthed through a project that is beyond me, and it is for the good of the whole of all people on the planet. And Good of the Whole is talk about the master network. It has connected me with Shelley Ostroff, or I've connected Good of the Whole with Shelley, and the 7 days of rest is coming up, and I know we'll have some time to bring our, perhaps either as a group or individually, to support Good of the to support the 7 days of rest. And Shelley's introducing me to other people who are doing projects sort of similar to Pachamama Pajamas, but if we use this tool and meet each other and network this way, and know that we have this common understanding that we're coming from our hearts and of the whole, whatever it is that we're doing is not just about us anymore. It is really about the whole planet, and how whatever it is that we're doing is benefiting all living beings on the planet. So I am in the process of moving everything off of bookshelves and up off the floor, because we're having a whole new flooring in my house. So it's a bit disheveled, if you'll, and it will be for like the next week, but all new things for you. And if you don't come back for the rest of this month, we'll see you next year. And I love you all. So, and you can hear me. I got it fixed. Yay. Okay. Love you. I'm complete.
Okay, I'm going to have to jump in here because we just have a few more minutes, and just want to give Oriana or Erica, I think everyone else has shared, just a short minute, if that's okay, so that we can sort of bring this to a wholeness close of this evolutionary spiral.
Okay, this is Oriana, and I can do this in a short clip. Just yesterday, I made this breakthrough in something I have been tracking through biophysics and biochemistry, the stem cell activation. I made this breakthrough, and I went, yes, it's what I've been looking for. And then I wondered, well, now what do I do with it? And Julie mentions Jude Caravan, and I thought, yeah, I told her I was going to write her a paper on the time crystal, and this is the evolution of that, my understanding of it. So I thought, wow, if I get this together and actually write it up in a scientific terms, then I can begin to explain it in more layman terms of what it is and what we can do with it further. So there you go. And thanks so much to all of you. I feel is you all do. The mentoring is something that is tangible, and just knowing it's there is everything. Thanks.
See, Erica, you might be just listening, and that's completely fine. I'm just going to unmute you. No, I can't. Yes, I'm unmuting you just in case it's been muted and you can't get back on. And listening is fine here as well. But we're opening up the space for you if you'd like to share.
Okay. Hello, everybody. So nice to be here. I'm the new kid on the block, so I'm not sure what to say, but I'll just, I know we also don't have a lot of time, so I'll just say that, you know, the more that we're aware that we are truly co-creating, the more that we're aware that we're co-creating. And I think I'll leave it at that for now and hopefully get to know each of you better later. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm going to put you on mute. So let's all take a breath together. Just take a moment. We really believe in the pause here in Good of the Whole. And that pause is really the opportunity to just feel that sense of integration, sense of harvesting, sense of our unique wholeness as a sphere of wholeness connected to all these other spheres of wholeness. Just feeling into how good that feels. And as you continue to be in that space, I'm just going to share just a couple of things that are important to us in terms of going forward. So I'm going to just read the mission and vision of Good of the Whole so you can take that in and drink that in. Our vision is a world where every individual feels valued, connected, and whole. Our mission is to cultivate an ethos of wholeness and nurture our innate capacity to live for the good of the whole. Our purpose is to support and amplify individuals, groups, organizations, and initiatives that live for the good of the whole. And so as you move from this experience here today, we hope that you're experiencing that. And that going forward in terms of joining us throughout the month, every Wednesday here and every Monday we have a free global heart resonance call where we deepen into the field where we're really nourished and mutually nourished to go out and do our work. And here, you know what we come here for now. So what we're doing is that we have a 3-part call that we're building, and it's really 20 minutes where people can, if you feel that you're excited, like Nahid was sharing, if you feel you're excited and you would like to be able to have that expression, you know, somewhere between 10, 15 minutes, and we're playing with that right now, you know, that you can email myself at Shelley@GoodOfTheWhole and let us know. Just give us a line of what you'd like to do and a little paragraph at, you know, a title and a paragraph at what, you know, give us a sense of what that is. And you can be one of those next ones on those calls. If you are not already a mentoring steward, all you have to do is go to Good of the Whole and go to the membership page. And, you know, right now it's just a donation of $15 a month so that we support, that we can really build this expression outward with social media, all kinds of different media that will be happening in 2020. We're bringing forth what's called the Evolutionary Core, and we have a leadership program, a mentorship program. And so all that's coming in 2020. We want you to be part of that, as well as that last part of that 20 minutes. So it's an experience, an expression as you as an individual, and then really to an embodiment where other people get to share what their experience of your expression is. So that's that Wednesday call. And that we're together, we're cultivating that expression of wholeness. And that, you know, on those calls, you'll be able to understand better how you can feel into a co-creative relationship with Good of the Whole. So, and there's different ways that you can do that as an affiliate, as a partner, or just someone saying, wow, I'm so excited. I want to bring this, I want to give this to Good of the Whole to sponsor. You know, we're talking about that with Linda in the Pachamama Pajamas and Glenn as well, and these different ideas that are coming forward. So, and in 2020, we are going to, and maybe even before that, we're trying to build out the Mentoring Stewards page so that each one of you that are a mentoring steward will be able to be seen for the gifts, and as Don was saying, the genius that you're bringing forth. We want to put a picture and have you up there so we can build that page. People can really see, and, you know, more than just someone say, oh, go check it out. You know, oh, Glenn, I want to link you. Well, you can also, we could go to use that page as a part of the repository so people can really go directly to finding you and build that, your vision. So with that, just want to thank everyone for showing up. And I'm just going to, I know we're a few minutes afterward. So let's just take a breath together and just with that joy and gratitude that everyone's been speaking to, feel the sense of that planetary connection. Feel yourself as a part of this matrix of light and love. Feel into the sense of what we're expressing here as a resonant field, that we can rest and be moved into action from a place of wholeness. And if you have any questions, you can contact Julie or myself. Email us at Shelley or Julie, Shelley at Good of the Whole or Julie at Good of the Whole, and we're here to support you and build this field together. So thank you so much for being here. And if you want to jump in, we'll see you next Wednesday. We'll be here, and much love to everyone. See you, and thank you so much. We love you all. Peace, love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We love you, we love you, we love you. And so it is.
Aloha.
Aloha. Ahola.
Love.
Hola.
Love. Love you all.
A whole lot.
Love